Hey YouTube, Kiro Qualia here, bringing you all my Susanoo Oracle Think Tank deck profile for premium format July 2019. Following the premium collection 2019 booster pack, I want to do an update to the Susanoo deck with the new support for Takishima. This is the newest stride and also the new trigger support for critical triggers for premium format, bringing a lot more power to the deck, I'd say for sure, with Takishima being able to shut down your opponent's auto abilities of Guardians, so really weakening the whole defensive strategy after going up against your own deck. I have the new stride here and just a whole new setup to the Susanoo deck, so I thought I'd show you all what I've come up with. I tried to stick with as pure of a premium support as I could with the deck. Aside from the new stride and the new criticals, I wanted to, like I say, use as much of the Susanoo support with the Oracle ability as I could with this. So let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. So to start off, for the new strides, I have two of the esteemed deity of abundant waters, Takishima. It has the Vanguard skill of Counterblast 1, turn a card from your G-Zone face up, draw a card until the end of turn. Your opponent cannot use auto abilities of Guardians, and this unit gets the Vanguard skill of Oracle. All of your front row units get plus 2,000 for each card in your hand. And in the G-Zone, if this card is face up, when you would count the number of cards in your hand, include the face up card in your G-Zone. So this card really adds power to your Oracle, with the biggest problem just being that hand consistency for your Oracle skills, having to reach a specific number. So having Takishima itself be able to count for the Oracle cards definitely does add that boost to the deck. I only have the two in here. I was mixing around some other numbers of other cards I wanted to run in the deck as well for this power, but I felt that just being able to use some other cards to flip face up, and the fact with the new Progenitor Dragon, and also just the use of Ultima, both of those dragons for options in the deck as well, I decided to stick with these two for the lineup. I also have two Stillwater Festival Deity Takishima in the deck. I wanted to run 4 of this, but I still haven't been able to pick up any. I did think this card got reprinted in the Revival collection, so I just have 2 Battle Deity Kamu Susanoo to fill in the spots, but these would be what I would take out. 4 additional Takishimas, just for the fact that this card stops your opponent from using G Guardians and grade 0s in total. So along with just that option for power, you have this card and the new version of Takishima for those options. I would definitely say this one just has more of a strong offensive power, but the fact that this one can set up your Oracle with its face-up skill in the G-Zone just helps definite much for this one. So if you want to go into this Takishima first and then go into the Festival Deity one, you really hit your plays home with those in case you have to invest the rest of your hand onto the field. And I also have 2 Wakahirume for the G-Zone, just for the fact that this card can change the lineup of triggers on the top of your deck. You can reuse heals, crits, you name it. So very, very useful there for sure as well. And I have 1 Chief Deity of Heavens, Amaterasu, and 1 State Affair Subjugation Deity, Kamu Susanoo, as well, for more pressure, and then just the GB8 draw power as well. I don't have the Progenitor Dragon for United Sanctuary or Ultima in the deck, but if you wanted to add both of those units into the deck, I would suggest taking out one or the other, maybe Amaterasu, for the Progenitor Dragon, and if you wanted to run Ultima, take out the Kamu Susanoo. My one objection against Ultima is the fact that you really do want to keep Takishima face up for your Oracle plays, which Ultima in the end ruins with the fact that it removes your whole G-Zone after playing it. And then for the G Guardians, I have 2 Son of Eternity Amaterasu, just more G Guardian power with this card for sure, giving you the plus 10,000, and then easy soul charge setup as well. The easy shields are definitely the best thing about it if the number of cards in your hand is 4 or more, so you definitely have that boost. Also 1 Magus Apex for Counterblast 1, flipping up a G Guardian, and when it's placed on it, you may look at the top 2 cards of your deck, put 1 from among them into your hand, put the rest on the bottom of the deck, giving you more card options, especially with this one for sure. And then just for more generic Guardian, and also just to use for flipping up for your Magus Apex, I didn't really want to have to use Amaterasu for it, since I just like using her G Guardian for itself, just for these options available in the deck. And that's it for the Stride Zone. Moving on to the main deck, I run 4 Spiritual Sword, Rough Deity, Susanoo. For Soul Blast 2, when your unit strides during your turn, you may pay the cost. If you do, draw a card. So easy draw power with your Soul, saving the counterblast for other cards in the deck. And at the beginning of your ride phase, if you have a face-up card with Matarasu or Wakihirume in your G-Zone, you may Soul Charge 1, setting up the Soul for your draw, obviously. And Oracle 2, at the beginning of your ride phase, look at the top card of your deck and put that card on the top or bottom of your deck. So this card really just sets up all your plays for your draws, giving you what you want when you stride, obviously, with your draws. So very, very useful for sure. And I also run 4 Takishima, just a backup grade 3. Like I said, I want to stick with the Oracle cards for this deck profile. When it's placed on Vanguard, if the number of cards in your hand is 5 or less, you may pay the cost if you do draw a card. And a GB2 Oracle at the end of the turn, you may pay the cost if you do look at 4 cards from the top of your deck, reveal up to 1 card with Oracle from among them, put it into your hand, shuffle your deck. So the more Oracle cards you run, the better with the consistency, which is why I kind of stuck away from standard support, since it would just add less power to all the different Oracle cards we have in the deck. And then for the grade 2s, I run 4 Deity Spirit Loyalist Amino Ishibo. With this one, it's an Oracle GB1. When this unit attacks, you may pay the cost. If you do, look at the 5 cards at the top of your deck, search for up to 1 card with Oracle from among them, reveal it, put it into your hand, and shuffle your deck. And if you put a card into your hand, this unit gets plus 3,000 until end of turn. And from rear, put this unit into your soul at the beginning of your main phase. If the number of cards in your hand is 4 or less, you may pay the cost. If you do, draw a card. Just adding more for the Oracle power with that put into soul, also giving you more soul power for the Soul Blast off of Kamu Susanoo as well. And I also run 4 1 advantage Mike Nanase for rear guard, counterblast 1, soul blast 1. When this unit attack hits a Vanguard, you may pay the cost. If you do, look at 2 cards from the top of your deck, put 1 from among them into your hand, and put 1 card from among them on the bottom of your deck, just for more consistency. So you don't have to draw your triggers, you could just reuse them on the bottom of your deck. And Oracle, during your turn, it gets plus 1,000 for each card in your hand. So the Oracle effect, once again, a big boost with our new Takishima stride. And this power plus definitely does come in handy when you're going up against some other lone targets as well. And lastly, to finish off the grade 2s, I run 3 Weathergirl Shake. When your drive check reveals a grade 3, while this is on rare, you may pay the cost. If you do, draw a card, and this unit gets plus 2,000. And Oracle, when it attacks a Vanguard, you look at the top card of your deck and put it on the top or bottom, of your deck. If you put it on the bottom, this unit gets plus 2,000. So it's just additional power boost, but also good draw power and setup for its own draw effect as well. And then moving on to the grade 1s, I decided to stick with the Countercharge Arbitrator Amino Sagiri for the Perfect Guard, just because there is a specific trigger, which I'll talk to when I get to the trigger lineup, that I wanted to keep in the deck. And the grade 1 lineup basically is mostly just for your setup for your strides. So Amino Sagiri stays in its position. I didn't think was that much of a problem, just being the countercharge power just for guarding the Vanguard. There's not really too many rear guards that I want to protect as much as the Vanguard in this deck, so I was completely fine with leaving this Perfect Guard in. And I also run 4 Precious Ophidian with this one. Oracle GB1. Retire this unit at the beginning of your ride phase. You may pay the cost. If you do, until the end of turn, you may stride without paying the cost for your next stride. So free stride cost if you don't have your Progenitor Dragon on the field. And Soul Blast 1, when it's placed on rear, if you have a Vanguard with Oracle ability, you may pay the cost. If you do, draw a card. So once again, going back to why I don't run standard units, it takes away from all the whole plays that you can do with the deck, just giving you the options for that easy draw power with this card for just a Soul Blast 1. And I also run 4 Report Miko Nazuna. You Oracle, retire this unit to be at the end of the battle that it boosted. You may pay the cost. If you do, draw 1. So it gives you more hand power at that. And GB1, when this unit is placed on rear, choose one of your other rear guards with the Oracle ability in the same column as this unit. Until the end of turn, this unit gets plus 10,000 for each card in your hand. Just giving that power for one of your other units really does work well when you're stacking it with, let's say, your Nanase especially. So I like to run 4 of it for the draw power and just for that additional boost that can stack on top of her own effect as well. And to finish off the grade 1s, I run 2 Deity Spirit Loyalists Kumanu Kusubi. Oracle, Counterblast 1, when an attack hits a Vanguard during the battle that boosted, you may pay the cost. If you do, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, search up to 1 card with Oracle from among them, put it into your hand, and put the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order. If you put a card into your hand, put them into your soul, this card into your soul. So it sets up, once again, Susanoo for the soul plays, just like your grade 2 counterpart of Anuo Oshibe for your plays. I like to run the 2, though. I feel like you have more draw power with Ophidian and Azuna, which I decided to keep at the 4 count numbers. And that is it for the grade 1s. For the starter, I decided to go with the Deity Spirit Loyalists, Ikutsu Hikane. It's more of just the fact of giving it that additional Forerunner, since a lot of the cards in the deck are 9k, so if you're going up against a Vanguard with Force units, 10k power, you want that additional card if you want to save cards in your hand for Oracle later on. So just giving you this Forerunner ability for the boost definitely does come in handy. And then for the triggers, sticking with the 8 critical, I want to get 2 more of the Weathergirl Send-All, which is the when your Vanguard attacks, put this unit into your soul, draw a card, and one of your Vanguards gets plus 10,000 until end of battle. Very, very useful for all premium decks, depending on which one you are building. And also, I run 4 Divine Sword Kusanage. I still just prefer the power into the soul and draw a card critical for sure with the deck. And over the draw trigger, I decided to keep Efficient Carp in the deck for Oracle. Put this unit into your soul. At the end of your turn, you may pay the cost. If you do, look at the top card of your deck, put it on the top or bottom of the deck, and draw a card. So just more setup for your hand come next turn, especially with this card, which is why, like I said, it's not that big deal that you have the perfect guard, grade 1s in the deck. It's still a big boost for sure. And lastly, I run 4 Lozenji Magus Fine for the discard draw power you can do with your G when it's discarded for the hand for the cost of your G Guardian Magus Apex, which is very, very helpful as well. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Until next time, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and Kira Qualia out.